Hi guys, this is just going to be a really short video. Basically what I did today was I just cleaned up part of the Thames shoreline, just a really small part which is quite close to where I live, fortunately. Obviously we all know that the Thames is really disgusting, and there's clearly like a huge growing awareness about plastic and garbage in the ocean and how it affects marine life and obviously how eventually it ends up back in our stomachs, and it's all really sad. And I mean, there's nothing new that I'm going to tell you about that. You already know it. But when you kind of go out there and clean up the shore and get involved for a little bit, it really kind of brings it home for you. And I mean, when we think of the Thames, we don't often think of it as like teeming with marine life. When we think of plastic in the ocean, we usually think of the, massive blue oceans out there in like California and other places. But I'm pretty sure the Thames does have quite a lot of marine life. I remember walking past this place in London. I don't know where it was. It was like central London, and they had this like massive metal board thing outside the Thames. And it kind of listed all the creatures that are in there, and there were quite a lot. There's definitely some like lobster type thingies and a few different species of fish. But on like the larger scale, I think that there are dolphins that go by occasionally. But there's definitely seals. There are seals for sure, because I've actually seen seals right outside my house in an area which is usually shoreline, but when the tide comes in really far in, sometimes there's like seals out there as well. So when I was cleaning up the shore, I felt really sad because I came across quite a lot of things that I can imagine a seal trying to eat. So obviously there's a lot of plastic and stuff. There's nothing new, but I was surprised at the amount of like broken glass that I found. I found like actual glasses but broken in half. I mean, there's no point going into why people throw the things they throw into the Thames and stuff. And I think obviously it's just like old conditioning where I guess there hasn't been like a huge awareness of the issue and so on. But one of the things I learned recently about seals is that obviously they eat fish, and when they see objects that are shiny, they're more likely to sort of approach it thinking that it's fish. So I was really sad to see a lot of like broken glass, because I could just imagine a cute little seal going up to like something shiny like glass, which would obviously like reflect sunlight, and then like putting it in its mouth and then experiencing like a blood sandwich, which is obviously not pleasant. So I mean, again, like I said, nothing new, but I thought I'd just show you my garbage haul, just so we could all have like a few moments of silence and focus on all the horrible things that we do to the water bodies of the world. And I mean, maybe seeing this would encourage you to just take a bin bag one day and go clean up your local shoreline. I mean, I am part of a couple of like these conservation societies and stuff. I think the Marine Conservation Society and the Zoological Society. But if it's just a local shoreline outside your place, like you don't even have to go through the delay and like the process of organizing a whole group to go out and do that. You can just go out and like literally put some gloves on and sneakers obviously, and like just go out and like clean. It's like a half-an-hour job. So yeah, here's my garbage haul. So I mean, this thing, I've torn my garbage rubber, but this thing is just like massive. It's some kind of like massive iron spade. I don't even know like what it is, but the usual stuff like crisp packets, plenty of cigarette packs. Sadly, I don't think that the seals and dolphins and other fishies would really comprehend the warnings on there. Not that humans do. Broken sieve. Unfortunately, I can imagine some cute little baby marine animal getting like horrendously stuck inside there and bleeding, and yeah, it's just really sad. And massive plastic bags again, bottle corks, smaller plastic bags. Obviously, that's nothing new. Let me get some of the glass. Huge glass bottles, just massive glass bottle. I mean, luckily this one isn't broken, but I'm sure a little bit of like jostling around from the tides would have it broken in no time, and then it would become like a real danger. Some other like human thing, I don't know what it is, but looks like really hard, and I just think if some poor animal were to like ingest this or even like graze past it or something, could kind of seriously injure them. And let me show you the glass. So there was like a bunch of stuff that looked like this. Can you see this broken glass? I mean, look how jagged that is. It's so, it just makes you think. Like, I can just imagine a poor little fish or seal or something like that just coming up to it and being like, ooh, that's shiny. You know, and there were so many of these. And a bunch of like kind of tile kind of things, just like broken white goods. I don't know if this is part of some kind of like, I don't know, toilet or fridge or whatever. And plastic cups, obviously the bane of the planet. And you know, I'm not gonna like say in this video, guys, please recycle, don't put stuff in the water, because you know that already. I thought I would just kind of show you what I came across today. Again, more of these again, massive like glass things. I don't even know where this came from, but I found several of these, so I think they all belong to a similar, like, maybe it was something big that got broken. And then there were just like plenty of like, scarier than the broken glass with these like small glass bits. You know, there were plenty of these, and they're really jagged as well. I mean, let's say a fish or seal or something may be able to avoid like a bigger one and recognize it as not a fish. These like baby glass pieces are just so easy to swallow, and then their insides would just burst, and it's so sad. I mean, obviously even the Thames shoreline is really huge, so this garbage haul, to say that I even scratched the surface of the stuff out there would also be an exaggeration, because I didn't think I've even scratched the surface by picking this up. Like, it would literally take like 1,000 people and an entire year to even make slight bit of a difference to the amount out there, and then the tide would come in and like bring it all back. But not sure what this is. Again, it looks very very harmful and jagged. It's obviously made of some kind of metal, but again, I wouldn't want that to end up in the stomach of, well, in my stomach or any of my loved ones. So, you know, by the same from the same perspective, I wouldn't want it to end up in the stomach of any of the marine creatures we share our planet with. And plenty of like tiny glass things, like so tiny. Can you see? That's quite, I mean, okay, we're all really aware of like small plastic bits and stuff. What happens to the glass? I'm not really aware, but I can't imagine anything good happening. Plenty of glass bits. And like, obviously we've all seen I'm sure you guys have all seen the video of like the turtle that got stuck in like a plastic ring, and then it grew in the ring, and then when it was an adult it still had the plastic ring around its stomach. So I found a bunch of those kind of things. What else? Again, like metallic-y stuff that could be really harmful. I think with some of these like metal things, I'm sure that some of the metal must eventually like wear off the object and like just seep into the water, and that's probably not good either. I mean, there's quite a lot of metals that cause diseases in humans, right? So I can imagine them causing diseases in marine animals as well, like maybe resulting in some types of mutations or something for them. I mean, I'm no doctor, I'm just guessing, you know. Again, like some kind of metallic ring, which maybe I can imagine it like blocking some animals, like, oh man, I don't know what, you know, I don't know about the anatomy of like marine animals, but if they have sort of like tubes or whatever inside their body, I can imagine it blocking that. Again, whole bunch of these. Like, how terrifying is that? It's just terrifying. It's just terrifying. So, so yeah, that was what I found. Pretty sad. I mean, obviously you guys know that it's good to like recycle and not throw stuff in the ocean. I'm sure everyone knows that, but sometimes it's good to just go out there and see it for yourself, and it like really reminds you again to be really, really careful with the recycling and stuff, and like reduce our plastic use as much as possible. If you do go out and clean a bit of the shore, obviously make sure you wear some really sturdy gloves, because touching anything that has been in the Thames may result in death. I don't even know how like disgusting it is out there. And I wore like sneakers because the shore can get quite squidgy. So you may, some areas kind of feel a little bit like quicksand, obviously, because they're wet. The tide comes in and out so many times. And also, I'm sure that you know your local shoreline quite well in terms of tide times and stuff. So obviously go at a time when the tide is like all the way out. Like, don't get stuck or like drown or something, because that would be counterproductive. So yeah. Enjoy. Bye.